Hey, big hello. Horvin, what are you doing up there? Get back in your box. Rah! Rah. That's the wrong one. Which camera is it? This one? No. And this one? No. Where is he? Catch the Horvin. Catch the Horvin. Catch the Horvin.
Catch.
The Horvin.
What are you doing, Christopher Cole?
There we go. That's easier. Down. There we go. You were very excited for some reason, Horvin. You were climbing up out of your box. Okay, let's move that over a bit because it's right on your face. Josh's too. There you go. All right. And I'm Theo tonight, and more.
I noticed.
You're DMing for us.
Hello, all.
Cheers, bud.
Welcome.
Okay, so let me just switch these over. So we're using a new chat doobry. So we are just getting a few little teething errors out the way here, and then we are ready to trot. All right. So let us get back into this. First and foremost, welcome everybody that's here. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. And also, big thanks to all of the VOD squads that come along after the fact and catch up with the show. Always appreciated. And shout out to Syrinscape, who is going to be bringing music and sound effects like these angry sounding devils your way this evening. And the other music, like this one you're hearing now, comes to you from YouTube channel RPG Music Maker Travis Savoy and or Epic Journey, with extra music from Dark Fantasy Studio. Now, that said, let us remind ourselves what happened last week. Hello everyone! I don't have the voice mod today, so I have to do it myself. No, unfortunately. luckily the Cybriex is gone with all its terrible squeakiness. Just disappeared into the roiling clouds off, heading back towards the abyss from whence it came.
What a shame. We might never see it again.
Oh dear, yes indeed. So, speaking of Cybriex, having beaten the fiends imprisoning said Cybriex and retrieving Firemore from his banishment on the material plane, you freed the demon from its shackles, whereupon it showered you with gratitude, hideously warping and changing Lincoln and Tarina until they were able to shake off the effects. Listening to Firemore's tales of the burning Valentine and her crew, you limped your way back to the war machines and set off back to the Tower of Grand Mage Mordenkainen's plane-hopping home. We find ourselves tearing at full speed across the desolate Avernus hellscape, banking around in long arcs to avoid the impossibly large bones of forgotten creatures, the crumbling ruins of the Leia's old pleasure palaces, or deep gashes in the land full of writhing, reaching lemurs. As the scene is lit brighter by a particularly large meteor hurtling towards the river Styx, perhaps called down from the skies by a powerful spellcaster on one side of the Blood War or the other, you arrive back at the Lake of Fire, from which rises the pinnacle of blasted rock, with the tower perched atop. So, over to you, dear friends.
Okay, I will parallel park my my Black Parade.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let me get some fire up these engines just for a short while before you park. So, you pull up, and then can you swing down off your Devil's Ride, the Black Parade, and
doesn't really wait for the others, just kind of kicks around the sand like grrr. He's angry. Angry boy.
Grr indeed.
Orvin's feeling pretty good. Not only health wise, but also completely anticipating this new book from Morgan. So he's gonna kind of pop out of the tour bus and hop down onto the sand and just start kind of staring up at the tower like,
Come get us. We're here.
I don't really like that we had to free that thing, but alright.
oh.
So you all walk towards the edge of the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you do so, you get to the edge and you see the roiling, bubbling surface of this magma fiery lake that's in this huge indentation in the layer of Avernus. And as you get to the edge, there's a waft both of like searing heat that just almost like makes your face just, almost dry out and your eyebrows almost burn off as soon as you get hit by it. But also an awful sulfurous smell that just comes up off the surface of this hellish waterway. But I wouldn't worry about that too much, because as you stand abreast on the edge of the Lake of Fire, there is a familiar... No, cartographer, is not the wrong way. You should. They're exactly where they want to be. You feel.
Lincoln starts walking the other direction.
You know, Lincoln, this is where we need to be.
Come on, we don't stop.
I'm
Don't
never
start
where I
listening
need
to
to
him.
be.
Don't start listening to him. And as you are standing there, you feel that familiar pull somewhere in the pit of your stomach, and there's that strange compression, elongation, whooshing feeling as you are teleported across to the interior. The quiet, peaceful, firelit but not fire-heated interior of the Tower of Urm. And you find yourselves stood back in that study. The books of Orvin, you can only imagine what kind of tomes and books are in here. Yeah, these are the ones he once kept close, lining the walls. And the low table surrounded by 5 chairs. But no sign of anyone.
We did it.
I am more than hesitant to start strolling.
Banquet.
What book do you want?
Want to get a
God.
second try?
Lincoln!
What kind of book do you want? Go on, I'll do it. If you're
Ah,
hesitant, I'm going. I have nothing to live for. Go, let's go.
We look up the description of Vanta's book. I did not take notes on it. Who has notes?
It's white leather. That's like probably the most standout thing.
I don't know,
Not,
Lincoln.
a book has not travelled from Kesselstrad into Avernus, I'm afraid.
Right.
Listen,
Nice.
Morven, if you're not picking, I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick. I'm on Lincoln's side in Mordecai's place.
Come on.
Whatever.
Wait, right, okay, Theo. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something I've this ancient ritual Janken, and whoever loses has got to go and pick out a book. Okay,
Ancient ritual. What do
just
you
follow
mean?
me. Saishogu Janken Poi. Okay.
You don't even speak Draconic. You're not even saying it right.
Fireball looks offended.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yes.
Ready? Rock, paper, scissors.
Nice.
1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, I lost. Right, which one am I picking out there?
Firema's looking at the books.
I thought it was Boulder Parchment Shields.
Boulder Parchment Shears. I lost. Theo, which one am I grabbing? Any random one?
I didn't think this through.
As with so many things.
Is there like a coloring book? For my son, of course, for my son. Like,
I will make an investigation check, John. I'm looking for a coloring book. 19 plus 1, 20.
Dirty 20. You walk along the shelves, perusing the various spines, reading the different titles that you can read. Several of them are in very strange alphabets that you are not sure how to pronounce. And you with that investigation check, do find a thin-looking, kind of coloring book-sized spine, almost disappearing between the two heavy, leather-bound tomes to either side.
Yoink. I say the sound effect. Oh.
There is a ripple effect as your hand harmlessly bounce off some kind of force field.
I see. This is no fun. Bonk, 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 bonk. Karate kick, bonk, bonk. Can't get
I
it,
mean,
boy.
I would do the same thing. I
Yeah.
expected as much.
Maybe it's because I'm not smart enough. Horvin, why don't you try it? Get this coloring book for me. I'm ready to admit my own weaknesses. For example, I'm not smart. That's all I need to say, really. Go on.
The end.
That's the only one.
Period.
Sure. Yeah, I'll try.
Go on.
Can I make an Arcana check on this force field?
Of course.
Can I? I can't give him guidance because I'm not Vanta.
Multiple campaign confusion.
This is the guy who can make 6 of himself. How come there's not one of him here?
Must be quite busy. Even with the advantage, I got an 11.
Okay. You start thinking about it, and as you ponder this, you're overwhelmed by the knowledge that this was created by one of the most well-known, one of the most storied, one of the most adept mages of all eternity. And you're like, how could I even try?
Horvin.
Abort. It is at that
Right.
moment
Oh.
that the door, where when you first arrived here you saw a chess game, a wizard chess game going on, opens. And once again, that woman, youngish woman that you saw last time you were here talking to Mordenkainen, comes in. Her dramatically slashed red velvet dress draping along to the floor and, dragging along behind her, and the long sleeves hanging from her wrists. As she moves into the room, her huge bushy hair in like half beehive, half weird science hairstyle effect going on here. And she sweeps into the room dramatically and looks at you sideways. You're back. Rothine congratulates you.
For one night only.
Naturally.
Yes, you're not welcome to stay. Yes, that is correct.
Oh, lovely.
Well, we didn't come to stay. We just came to make good on a deal.
Oh?
Yeah, we finished a job for the wizard, and he promised me a book.
If that's the case, he would have left word. Allow me to peruse his documents. And she glides across the chamber, barely a movement of her leg visible through this heavy velvet fabric. And she just moves across to the table, and she kind of extends a long-fingered arm and rifles through a couple of things. She looks over her shoulder, raising an eyebrow. The pits.
Yeah. One and only.
That's us.
She sniffs, and she picks up something. This is addressed to you. And you being the one that talks to her, Horvin, she comes and passes it to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You open it up. And as you open it up, you see that inside is a small piece of parchment, folded, and scribbled in a hurried hand is instructions from Mordenkainen to, if you come back successfully, and Rothine, you will know if they are successful or not, Please check if the Cypriox is still a problem. If they are successful, please give them the keys to the library so that they may get the book they are after. And only the book they are after. Have no fear, the Kalkis will deal with them if they try anything silly.
I didn't think what I did was silly, I say to Theo.
So like, Horvin goes on a total facial journey, like reading this note. He's like, give them the keys to the library, and his eyes just explode out of his head. And then he reads, well, I would do the same.
Okey-doke. So, you pass the letter over to Rothine, and she walks over to what can only be described as a dramatic crystal sphere.
You're a
the
bit
edge.
much, aren't you, Rolfine?
She smiles. Oh,
Nah.
that and more. Yeah, that and more. And she passes a hand over it, and you see purple smoke billowing inside. She peers deeply, her face underlit by the arcane works afoot within the crystal of this magic ball. And then darkness, as she pulls away. Congratulations. A particularly dangerous demon is no longer in Avernus.
You're welcome.
We do what we can.
And more.
As promised. And she walks over, and there's like a hat stand over near where that door is that she came through. And there's a couple of little funny hats, some very very different ones. There's a fake beard hanging on there as well, which is strange because Mordenkainen has a beard. But this one's a good deal bushier. And some kind of cloak hanging there. And a leather satchel. And she goes to retrieve that satchel, particularly, and brings it back over to you all. And I need to open something up here. Just a moment, please.
What?
We do. Where are you? There we go.
Is the
So-
other beard for you?
I beg your pardon?
There on the hat stand, the beard.
No. Whatever would I do with something like that?
It's a wig for Mordenkainen's head.
On at parties?
Okay. Where are you? The thing? You're hiding. Stop hiding from me. Sorry, buddy. Find it. Yeah, it's okay. I can remember what it is. So, she hands you this leather satchel, and Horvin, you eagerly look inside, and you can see tightly rolled scrolls with brass fasteners wrapped around their midrifts. What do you do?
I will grab. How many of them are there?
Oh, good question. 6?
Good lord. All right. Oh, this will be fun. So Horvin will take one out, and then extend the bag to everyone else in the room to take one, and we can make this a team exercise.
Indeed.
Sweet.
What's this?
And let me set that number for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry. 8.
There are 8. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll let everyone take one, and that will be one left over.
Horvin gets 2.
Yeah.
Funky
Mm,
and fresh.
who else are we dealing with here? Lulu?
So, oh yeah, Lulu. Yeah, I'll give one to Lulu. Yeah.
Thank you.
Look at Horvin forgetting about Lulu again.
Gorhoven. She's right there. Sorry, Lulu.
I count 6 there. Who are the other 2?
Horven's taking 2 and Lulu.
Rothine's not playing.
Oh, I
okay.
see.
I'll give a second one to Fire Maw.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I still don't really understand what I'm doing, but
That's okay.
You know about as much as I do.
And Rothine gestures to that doorway that she has been using so much, coming and going, and she gestures towards it and says, "The library is that way."
Ah. What?
I look
Wait.
at the towering library shelves.
This isn't the library.
No.
Um,
This bookcase? No, of course not.
can I try to open one of these scrolls?
I'm trying to get the description of them before I
Sure.
wing it. You'll excuse the pun, bird folk. Dum, dum. Why did I put it in such a difficult place to find? You, Horvin, as you open the scroll, you see just it has one very simple marking on it, a large depiction of the School of Abjuration magic, which you recognize.
Ah. I'm wondering if they're different. I'll open the second one that I have.
Okay, it is for necromancy.
Oh,
Ah! They're never gonna let me live this down.
This pleases.
Well, go ahead, open yours.
Farma takes a look at his 2 scrolls.
Okay,
Alright.
Fimora, you have divination.
Alright.
And you have illusion.
ooh.
Oh, I see.
Hey, bloody. Just come over.
I'll look at mine.
Okay.
Sure.
Lincoln, you have enchantments.
Ooh.
Didn't need that. Dang.
I'm already
So what?
charming enough. I'm dead on the inside.
Yikes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I will definitely open mine. Meh.
Serena, you have. Let me see here. Conjuration.
Ooh.
And Theo?
Alright then, I guess I'll open mine.
Theo, you have evocation.
Ah.
Conjuration.
Okay, well, how about
Which means
Lulu?
Lulu deftly unrolls hers with her trunk,
Yeah.
and she has transmutation.
Ooh.
Lincoln,
You're just looking.
not Lincoln. Lulu is about to become a human Lulu.
All right,
Or a
well,
Lala.
She's like, "Oh, I wouldn't mind trying that for a while."
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what these do, but let's head into the library.
Okay. So,
Let's.
you walk through that door, and there is no gaming table that you'd glimpsed before. There was no sign of the room either that time or when Rothine came through. It was a completely different chamber as you stepped through. And you find yourselves in a large, cool, stone-floored and vaulted ceilings with graceful fluted columns reaching up to that vaulted ceiling. And between the arches of stonework there is a beautifully painted or magicked night sky. Stars speckled across. A sight you haven't seen, almost to rival the desert skies, Darina. But not quite. I do like how you're RPing Tarina's height by just your eyes being visible. Give a wave to everyone. Just like, hi.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
as you enter the room, your eyes are kind of drawn up to that magnificent sight above you, but they are, of course, quick to return down to what's right in front of you, and you see a ring of 8 life-sized granite statues of Mordenkainen. All identical. All with a small basket at their feet. And all with some kind of inscription.
This looks like a puzzle to me. Well, let's see what's written on the statues then.
Okay. Off I go.
Look, yep.
I'll
As
read the
you-
one furthest. Okay.
As you make your way towards the ring of statues that kind of spread out around them, facing, because the Mordenkainens are all facing outwards with these baskets at their feet. And you see your friends through the gaps across the other side of the circle. You see, as you approach, the text on the chest of each statue is shifting and moving and changing size and shape. And as you stop in front of each one, it solidifies into a language that you know. So please, from your character sheet, please choose a language that you know.
It's Draconic.
Draconic.
I'm gonna go with Aarakocra.
Good choice.
I'll pick Celestial.
Okay. You?
John, for some reason, Theo doesn't know how he knows this, but Abyssal appears.
Oh no.
Oh, boy.
no.
You don't know what you have done, Mason.
Not
You-
again.
Really?
Really? But fueling the fire here.
That went.
If you have some kind of
So-
like access to the abyss, Lincoln is gonna kidnap you. Just so you know. I'm giving you a little warning. No. He
Noted.
needs it.
Julie noted.
Oh boy.
Now-
Fearful.
Corvin,
Yes.
your text in front of you is very clear for you. It is a... Let's see here. It is a description of, not the workings of. You wouldn't be able to learn it or cast it using this thing.
Right.
It is the description of a clairvoyance spell.
Ah. Well, that's in divination, isn't it?
If you think so.
Colby thinks so. But is there some kind of check I can make to clarify that?
It would be Arcana.
Okay.
This is that boring book magic. Although you're a very difficult sorcerer to play with, because work for, because the the normal thing is that they just they detest all these book learned wizards and they've got their natural flair and their but you love them books.
I do. I got a 19.
Okie doke. That's plenty. And you notice that, and yes, indeed, it is a divination spell.
Okay. Which one of you has divination?
Corbin, I have a sword.
It's
On the scroll, Theo.
I'm not really a magic guy. Is this the symbol for divination? It,
Ah,
it,
yes.
it is.
Thank you, Firemark.
Ah, okay, here we go.
I look at it and say, "That's McDonald's."
I'm sorry. What?
What? What?
I've read about such a place, but Firemark, if you could, hand me that scroll, please.
Oh, all right.
And Horvin, I've remembered, I can show you what it looks like. It looks like this. It's got a funky little devil face on it.
I like it. That's very detailed. Wow.
That is really cool.
Or, Mason and Theo just realized Horvin was talking about the scrolls, and I imagine the giant stick appears over Theo's head again.
Handsome.
Bless you, Theo.
In score.
So, like, Horvin will definitely laugh at the realization dawning on Theo's face as he kind of casually places the scroll in the basket at the foot of that statue.
Okay. So, Theo, as you do that, there is a pulse of magic. And the basket starts to glow with a warm orange glow. And the same glow appears in the statue's eyes. But that is all.
Okay,
Next.
next.
Okay. So, next up. Let's see here. Horvin, actually the one in front of you has a glyph of warding spell described.
Ooh. Warding. Ah.
This is fun.
Puzzle now, everyone. Puzzles are being solved by players, not characters. So anyone with any knowledge can chip in.
I believe that wording is abjuration.
That's what I was thinking too.
We don't want to know what happens if we put the wrong scroll in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Theo, you have the abjuration scroll.
I have the evocation scroll.
I said. Sorry, I meant Horvin. Excuse me.
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
My bad.
Horvin will kind of push his fingers into his, the top of his beak in concentration and kind of okay, and take that one, the abjuration scroll, and put it in the basket.
The same as before.
I'll look at mine.
Indeed.
Who is she?
The text on the statue in front of you, Lincoln, is... a description of a fireball spell, but with some sort of delay on it.
Delayed blast fireball. Is that is evocation. So
Couldn't be anything else.
literally.
Yep.
So yeah. I thought you were trying to throw me off by adding the delay, and I was like,
Nope, that's the spell.
you can try. You
Let's-
can certainly try. Anyway, so I'll go over who has the evocation one. Hey guys.
Confession, it was the
Ethan?
first time I saw
Theo.
it.
Okay. It was the evocation one.
That'd be Theo.
Yeah.
Theo, come over here. Come on.
Oh, alright then. What? Oh, you need this, I'm assuming?
Put that bad boy there.
Okay,
Yeah. Oh, that's what that
third.
noise was.
third
You
Okay.
doing the
plague.
thing.
You
Let's
did it.
read that
Read out.
draconic.
Okay, the draconic plaque in front of you, Firemore, reads out a spell of fear.
Okay.
The only thing to fear is
Raising the dead.
fear itself. Come on. Can't pull that kind of shit in the year that June's coming out.
You got any ideas what fear is?
Fear is the mind killer.
Theo?
Fear.
Oh, yeah. Is this a callback to him being called a coward last week?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, what do we fancy?
I would say necromancy before conjuration.
Wait, well,
An
what was Lincoln's scroll again?
enchantment. And he's doing a little dancey dance.
It must be enchantment.
I'm moving up to you, Theo.
Oh.
I'm
Oh,
curious.
alright then, Lincoln, you wanna hand me your scroll?
When I was thinking about this, I was wondering if chat was going to be jumping in your corner, but they are keeping quiet as the grave.
Cool. Theo?
Yeah.
Here you are.
Watch. This 6 right here is gonna turn to an upside down 9. Or upside down 6. to be a 9.
This 6 is
Hell yeah.
already an upside down 9.
Yeah, so I'm gonna prove this more in Kaiden. I don't know what this number above my head means, but I'm gonna assume it's something insulting.
Aha.
Alright,
So,
Firemaw, put it in.
Put my illusion in?
No, I have Lincoln's enchantment scroll thing. I don't know.
Oh.
It's instinct at this point.
Oh, thank you. What's yours say?
Put it in the basket!
I don't know. Something's telling me that it's not enchantment.
It's. Alright, that's enough. Horvin is gonna snatch the enchantment scroll and throw it in the basket.
okay.
Oh god.
So just let me get this straight. Lincoln was in front of this one, reading this one, right?
It's got very confusing.
What?
Theo brought over the scroll. Horvin's there too, and Firemore's there too.
Firemaw will walk away.
I thought Firemaw was the one who read it.
Lincoln has nothing. He has no impetus to move. He has no survival instincts right now.
Theo,
Go on, Theo,
Firemaw,
do it.
Lincoln, Horvin.
I said I walk away. I know it's not
Yeah.
enchantment.
There's Firemore though. Come on, you're allowed to solve the puzzle, but you're not allowed to.
I said out loud it's necromancy, guys.
I thought it was necromancy before
Okay,
conjuration.
so Firemore walks away then. Okay, so Theo, Lincoln, and Horvin, I need a wisdom saving throw, please.
Haha.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
13.
Okay. All of you see the scroll loom up into your worst fears, given form in a phantasmal image, and you are all frightened.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
Lincoln has no survival instincts and therefore does not fear death. So what does he see?
It's up to you. You tell me. What is Lincoln's worst fear? Rhea proposing.
Having no fan.
No.
Sorry.
That's a secret.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you
He
can,
starts walking
only,
towards his worst fear. Let it end.
no, you cannot move
As a-
towards it.
Him mentally.
You know what?
Ugh.
I'm positive
Serena-
necromancy
Yeah.
wasn't it though.
It's
I'm not gonna tell you what the answer is. Because I want you to do it.
the scroll is still in the basket, and the three of you cannot get closer to it to pull it out.
Serena,
Myra will walk
You're
back
just
over,
gibbering with fear.
pull it out,
Yes.
and say, "Who's got the necromancy scroll?"
I do.
Wait,
Of course you do.
are we still feared?
Yes. It's a
Yeah.
minute. So yeah.
Oh, dang it. Okay. So I can't really explain
No.
Theo
No, please,
explaining
yeah, let's-
his emotions through the fear.
Let's say because
Okay.
like outside of combat, it doesn't really do that much. So let's make it worse than it usually is.
Give me the scroll.
I have such a headache.
Here.
Dang it. I.
You want the necromancy one?
I'm like 80% sure it's necromancy.
I'm a 100% sure it's not.
I guess I'm gonna be feared if I'm wrong.
But go ahead. Honestly, I will take all the blame. Like,
Yeah, we'll put the necromancy in.
Okay.
No, I guess I'm wrong.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
All right.
Okay.
I know which one it is.
Yeah,
I just had to think about it. Like,
You first three are now not afraid anymore.
okay.
19.
it was all an illusion.
19. Okay. You managed to
You
shake
could've
off
seen that coming.
whatever this horrible fear was. What did you see? If you are willing to share.
Mermaids.
Oh
Terrifying.
Alzheimer's.
There was a picture
Oh.
of mermaids.
Pretty terrifying.
Oh, wow.
Fear is so
what an
relative.
what an illusion that was.
It's so there's a brief flash of everyone being dead,
Aww.
followed by the sight of a cheering crowd as a indescript form lumbers toward him, with blood dripping off of whatever weapon it has.
Excellent. Thank you. That's cool.
Oh boy.
Okay. So. Anyone else?
I was not afeared, so I could not tell you.
For me, it was for Theo, it was reliving the same experience of basically the guild and everything when Linda and I were caught and stuff.
Yeah, I'm thinking she was dead.
The house burning down and all that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, who's picking it up that's not scared anymore? And where's it
Now I
going? Oh,
guess I was wrong. Pick up.
You can't yet. You're terrified still.
Am I?
Oh no, you passed. I'm sorry. Yeah, you passed. Okay, so you pick it up.
Yeah.
What do we do? Let's go.
What do we got left? It wasn't.
Theo, you're okay now.
Oh, duh. I guess I'm. This is a magic thing. Isn't enchantment a school?
It,
Well,
Lincoln waves his scroll.
Hey,
Enchantment.
just chilling.
Yeah.
Want it?
I'm not a magic guy. I don't really.
That's okay. You did your best.
It-
Cool. So, enchantment still left over.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a wander around. Do I see any enchantment boys?
It. I think it's this one. The one that we fucked up twice.
No, it's I think it might be something different, and I'm gonna go find illusion,
Okay.
and I'll go put that in there.
Oh, illusion.
No, you
I
have to
think
take.
it's illusion.
You don't have to find the illusion spell. You have to find the illusion scroll. If you think
That's what I was
this.
looking for. The
yeah,
illusion scroll is what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Find more.
Because I just can't. I can't remember who has it. So.
Yeah. that's
Okay.
fine, Yeah.
Guess. Just put that in there if you like. That'll do it. Go for it. Go on, do it.
Theo
Do
gives a thumbs up.
Yeah,
Theo
that's
gives a
good.
Do it.
Drops it in very cautiously.
You got this. You got this.
Indeed, it is an illusion
Yeah.
spell.
That's weird. I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah. Okay, who's next?
I mean, my first instinct was enchantment, but
Mm.
I was
Sam,
just
yeah,
building my
then-
statue.
then after I realized, like, oh, it makes you see things. Like,
Yeah, I was surprised. That's why I chose it. I was like, oh, really? Okay, so who's next?
Oh,
Read my statue.
that's
Sorry,
that.
Trina?
Yep.
That's why I was so It's necromancy and Pathfinder.
Ah, okay.
Understandable.
Trina, sorry.
I will read the statue I am in front of.
Okay. It is Find Steed. It talks of summoning a massive warhorse or similar thing to your side to ride through. Can't hear you.
I just drop conjuration in.
Conjuration?
okay, yeah.
I read it and I go, oh, and then I just drop it in. I have that one.
Look at you.
There was a
Just-
moment where my
just to-
brain broke trying to figure it out.
For everyone watching here, when our player here playing Tarina started this campaign, she had never played D&D before, so well done. Well done.
Now I know.
Amazing.
You know things.
Amazing.
She's on now because you said that. So now I'm like, now I have to continue knowing things. And I actually don't know anything.
Tell me everything, Giuseppe.
All right. Thank you. That's that, and that, and that, and that, and that. That's all good. Okay. So we have necromancy, enchantment, and transmutation left.
I still haven't read mine yet.
You
My
read
weird
it?
one.
No, yours was evocation. It got taken from you.
No, I meant the statue.
Oh, I'm
Or,
sorry,
I
I'm
meant-
sorry.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call. It is Mr. Brothwin, Captain Brothwin. Excuse me. Da-da-da-da. Okay. It is the description of a creature or object being broken down into its composite parts. Disintegration.
Oh. All right then.
That's
I remember my
necromancy.
my son. No, I believe
Disintegrated?
no. My son.
Tell me more.
Breaking down into multiple parts. Everything's made from another transmutation. My boy talked to me about this. He's always a happy one.
Clever boy. Clever
Weird boy.
As he flanks you and kills you. Sorry, I'm not saying your son is a velociraptor,
Clever.
but in my home game with my boys, there is a druid, a rogue, and a sentient velociraptor.
Yes,
Is it-
good.
The sentient velociraptor is played. The sentient velociraptor is played by my 4-year-old.
That's cute.
Oh.
really cute.
And he really buys into it. So yeah, which one do you say it is? Enchantment? Yeah.
I believe it's the
Oh, sorry, the transmutation, right? Yeah. And then you just hear a as Lulu just comes swooping down around you, does a couple of spins around you, and just slam dunks it into the basket. And it lights up.
Yay!
Congratulations. So, 2 more. Who hasn't read a
Firemaw's
statue
got
yet?
one.
Nope, Firemaw's lost both of his. Horvin and Lincoln have theirs still.
So
Enchantment.
Necromancy and
Necromancy
enchantment.
and
Yeah.
enchantments.
So what's the
Horvin,
next
everyone,
step?
it's quite disturbing. Horvin seems reluctant to let go of the necromancy scroll.
Oh my god.
We know.
Horvin.
All of us slowly turn our head like.
What?
Don't
No.
be cheeky.
Coming to Studio NE, we know what you did last session.
I was about to say literally that. Amazing.
Okay.
There's no reason to covet that because you already are a necromancer. Just
Oh,
give it up.
Oh,
Noted.
okay. Okay.
Hey, who hasn't read a statue yet? And what language is it in?
I read mine.
Did I-
Serena read hers.
I think
Did I read one or did I
Dharma
respond
and
to
I
reading?
have a second statue.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
that's
might be
true.
it.
So yeah, Horvin, you step over to your other statue.
The second one is gonna be in Undercommon.
Okay. And in Undercommon, just as Carney Sideshow has jumped into our chat,
Hello.
Out of the Abyss coming next month. In
Yes.
Undercommon, you see the spell for Dominate Person.
There it is.
Aha.
Found it.
Lincoln, I think this one's yours.
Hey, okay. Off I go. Bloop, de bloop,
Okay.
blop.
Skippity skip. Bit more of a skip in Lincoln's stride than we've seen for a while. Clunk, clunk, clunk as
He's
the
losing his mind.
peg leg skips across the floor. Okay,
He
that
is
leaves
losing-
a single basket, and Horvin,
Ah,
his black-taloned hand, clutching keenly, hungrily at the scroll of necromancy.
this would be the last one.
And
I know that you're pretty reluctant about all this stuff. But necromancy is pretty powerful. Why don't you just roll with it?
they're not spell scrolls, Horvin.
I
Yeah.
know they're
Purely-
not spell
Purely
scrolls.
keys, purely keys. It is a vampiric touch.
Ooh.
It has mention of vampires up and down the Sword Coast and causing all kinds of trouble for all kinds of parties.
Ah.
It's a little close to home.
Absolutely ruined 4th of July.
Well, this is the last one. So
Yes, and it goes. And as you do, you jump back quickly because the statues all, in unison, lean forward and pick up the baskets and straighten again, and then on their plinths rotate so they are now facing the interior of the circle, and there is space to move between them. You could get to the interior if you wanted, and as you do, look through the gap there, you see the interior of the circle is slowly segmenting and spiraling down and becoming a spiral staircase down into the tower below.
Neat.
Oh, are we all just like slowly? We're on the staircase and we all end up on different levels of the staircase.
I think that's fun.
Just like, oh,
Actually, no. This is where you find out it's the infinite staircase, which is the other way to get between all the different planes. Apart from all the mistakes.
oh hell.
Lincoln starts walking. Where?
Which one's Eberron? Which one's Eberron? Okay.
Where do I get off of the abyss? Everyone and all that.
Okay. So, what kind of order are we in as we go down the stairs here?
Usually it's Firemoth first, but I feel quite.
Yeah.
Maybe Horvin first.
Yeah.
Corbin has already started to walk.
Perfect.
All right. I'll go after Horton.
Okay. So,
I'll go after Firemore.
gotcha.
me next.
Okay. Theo, very true to
Choo-choo.
character. No one left behind if you're at the back. Okay. So,
Lulu's up with me.
you start making your way down this staircase. Meticulously clean. There's no dust or cobwebs or anything. No flair for the dramatic here, at least. And you make your way down the silent, cool interior of the Tower of Erm. And when you reach the bottom of the staircase, it opens out into Horvin's heaven. As you
Oh.
see Horvin as you're first to exit the base of the stair, an impossibly tall room. This is clearly some kind of extra-dimensional space, because it goes up way further than you just came down. And bookcases reach up and up, higher and higher, and you can see strange little creatures scampering about, jumping dexterously from shelf to shelf, swinging on these delicate chains that span the distances between some of the further away bookcases. And don't worry, everyone. Horvin has not wild magicked himself into a sheep. If you hear that sound. And as the rest of you file in behind Horvin, you also see this incredible space with these creatures scampering about the place. And one of them immediately notices you come out of the stairway and comes scampering over to you as you see a Kalke, which you had heard spoken of, which is one of these. Oop.
Let's have a look at her. Oh,
Oh.
it's kind of cute though.
It's a
I
goat
really
monkey.
like that. I want one.
Goat monkey.
Which is
Oh wait, yeah. It literally
explains.
says in the description: a head of a goat and a body of a monkey.
There you go.
Goat monkey.
It explains the dexterity and the bleating calls as they chatter to each other about whatever business they are about. And they are all scampering about the place, and one of them comes over to you, and he's like, "Who sent you down here?
Oh,
On whose business?"
Mordenkainen asked us to complete a task in exchange for a book. We completed the
Mordenkainen?
task. Yes.
The master himself. Well then,
Yes.
I trust you have documentation.
Certainly.
Of course you do.
This letter.
And he reaches up, and you see him pause for a moment, and like both of his hands are full of about 5 arcane-looking, eldritch-looking, voodoo-looking, like just random magical paraphernalia. And he's like, and he, like starts tucking them in his belt, and like puts one very gently on the ground, and then reaches up and then spreads it open and looks quickly over it. Okay. All seems to be in order. Do you know where to go? What is this tome you seek?
I think I might have a way to go. These books tend to attract my feathers.
Your feathers?
Let's see if it'll work. And Orvin will pluck one of his feathers and toss it to see what happens.
The closest 4 or 5 other Kalkes have got me coming over, and you see all of them. They have like bandoliers of like arcane paraphernalia, just like pentagons and all these different religious symbols and bubbling potions and wands that fizz and crackle, clearly salvaged from someone's discarded magical items. And you see these creatures coming over, looking. What's going on? Who is this? I don't know who these people are. I don't know. Do you know them? No, I don't know them. And
we're the Pits. Do you guys like music? Live music? Got any venues?
We don't
I
get
am
out
fine.
much.
Okay, let me just. I'm not really interested in what Horvin's doing. I'll play you a little song, and I'll start just trying a little tune to keep them happy, so that Horvin can have his peace.
They
He
will
needs
be happy, but can I have a performance check to see just how happy?
it. Of course, they will be pleased or be welcome or all that. Oh no!
Well,
Oh my god, that's bad. So, performance plus
Should be-
13. Never mind. 19.
Jesus. Wow. Okay.
19.
So yeah, you start strumming away, and you kind of, the strangeness of the location and your audience like kind of throws you off your game a little bit at first, but it's still fantastic. Of course it is. And
Yay.
and they're all like tapping their heads along. A couple of them are just like headbutting their horns together. It's like clunk, clunk, and they're
For
enjoying
Horvin's sake.
enjoying the music immensely. And a couple are still watching you, Horvin.
I'm going to, before I toss the feather, I'm going to turn to the 2 that are paying attention to me and ask them. I do have a question.
Yes.
Mordenkainen did say this specific book that I'm to be given is the only one that I can leave with.
I
Are we allowed
see.
to read?
would-
Are we
You would need to have Mordenkainen's permission for that. That is a separate piece of documentation.
I see. Understood.
You don't have a library card.
I'm assuming I would have to get that directly across the
shocked quizzical goat in the background was like, no library card?
Oh my gosh.
Clutch at their pills. Arcane pills. Pills of power. All spent.
Us.
I don't suppose some tenure from the Library of the Alderheart would suffice.
Please follow that up with Mordenkainen.
Fair enough.
And you do what?
I'm gonna toss the feather.
Okay, you pluck a feather from your body, wherever you like, and you cast it in front of you, and it starts to drift down. And then as it does so, the feather suddenly jerks and moves and starts bobbing along. But it's at that moment that
Definition attacks.
the Kalke all rear up in alarm, looking at where this just happened with the feather, and they're all like, "Intruder! Intruder! Intruder!" And all the ones that were listening to you, Lincoln, immediately ignore you completely, which is the worst damage they could ever do, and turn on this feather, and they're like, "Somebody! Somebody! Who has the defensive magics prepared?" And one of them's like, "I do, brother!" And one of them comes scampering forwards, charging towards you, Horvin. What do you do?
This is how I find the book. I wasn't left instructions.
Out of the way, sorcerer! And just pushes you out of the way, and just goes barreling past you. And they reach out, and you see 5 or 6 of their various garments, items, and arcane paraphernalia all start to flare and fizz and crackle, and there's some lightning jumping between them and a horrible plume of acrid smoke that comes off. But a burst of magic does out, and you see about a meter across a almost transparent sphere appears. And in the middle of that sphere is your feather. And it's not very big. It's only about, I'd say, less than a meter across. They're like, "Well done, brother. You got him. You got him."
No.
Just
Now-
tell them you don't know where
Ormond.
the book is.
Ormond,
Yes.
give me a D100, please.
Sure.
Oh no.
Good.
Here comes some sheeps.
How'd you go?
94.
94. Okay. So as they're all patting each other on the back and regarding this sphere and celebrating and congratulating their brother on this successful defense of the library, the items and things that they use to cast the magic, a couple of them explode, and then a couple of them kind of become coterminous with each other and start to swirl around each other up above the Kalki's head, and then there's just a whoosh of magic, wild magic. You recognize it all too well, and the Kalke increases to huge size. It's just like, meh.
Oh God.
And it looks around. That could have
This
been
happened to you
worse.
too?
That could have been worse.
And the others like patting him like consolately. It's like, it's okay.
It'd be funny if the goat turned into a sheep.
Does this happen to all of you?
What? No. Our apparatus is somewhat dodgy.
Ah, I understand.
We scrape together what we can.
Sure.
Mordenkainen leaves all the best things for himself.
Well,
Sounds like an actual asshole.
He's the boss.
now
You guys should revolt. Anyway.
this
I lose access to all of this. They just gesture.
Do you have a union?
Um,
Who's
Oh.
looking out for your interests?
those two got married last week. Does that
Feel
count?
that
That's
struggle is class
wonderful.
struggle.
It's a union of sorts.
Solidarity.
It was a civil union.
Okay. Oh, so they are lovely. I love the goats and the gays.
Tagline for Fuzitsueki. We love the
Um,
goats and the gays.
I
What?
don't
like it.
know another way to find the book. This is how I found the others before.
Do you have a name? We can look it up in the index cards.
I'm afraid I don't.
Yes, you do.
I have
You know the name of it. Well, you should. If you don't, sucks to be you.
Really?
John, you fiend.
Well, I mean, I might be lenient. I'm still riding the wave of Tarina forgetting the aboleth's name.
right.
Yeah.
I don't
Ubert.
recall ever being given a name.
Boogaloo.
It's a very, very specific name. Quite strange for a book.
Ah,
Right, let's just get some syllables out there. Bibbly bob.
It is-
Boop-de-boo.
It is in
Flibbit
common.
and gibbet.
It is in common.
man, Horvin, if only you had a familiar named Stitches, which you could have wrote the name down like it when you first originally heard it. But
Maybe
you know,
I've seen magic.
I'm just like looking at my 6. You know, I'm not that smart, so you know, like I don't know.
All
Theo,
right,
that was very
Theo.
intelligent of you.
A couple of Calcays come past Theo and they're just like, "Don't touch anything."
A tear shed
Can I-
from Theo's eyes. Thank you, Lincoln.
Eh?
Like,
That goes again.
Can I make a history check or
Yes,
an
you may.
arcana check here?
Yes, you may.
Alright.
Without advantage. So you're being punished.
Without advantage. 15.
Okay, that's good enough. Come on, how did you forget? It's called Help! I'm a Book!
Ah!
Oh yeah!
How did you forget that?
Oh,
Ah,
that yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm teasing.
I'm embarrassed. It's called Help, I'm a Book.
We should look it up at once. And a couple of
Thank
them go off to this massive index library. Just index card drawer after index card drawer after index card drawer of some rich mahogany wood with little brass things. And Horvin, you're just like, oh, I want to know about their library, their archiving system. And they start, a couple of them start climbing up over the little jutting out parts of the case that allow them to access the higher shelves. And one of them looks back and is like, wait right there! And as you do so, you see another of them is coming past you, and they've stowed all of their paraphernalia safely away, and they're just rolling that sphere.
Where are you taking that?
I'm going to go and check it outside.
What's outside?
Ah, fair enough.
The 9 hells.
Oh, so
Where
we're
did
not
you
in,
come
like,
from? I mean, there are doors in here that go to other places,
Wisconsin.
but they will be all locked to you, I'm afraid.
What I said, Wisconsin. Little Calimshan. No, that didn't come from there. I'm lying.
Close, but yeah. Just over the wall. In the posh
Yeah.
bit. In the bush bit. So they just go away and they start going up the stairs, and you see this thing seems to be completely weightless, almost. And when they get to the stairs, they stop rolling it and they just pick it up. And it's bigger than they are. They're quite tiny. It's just like dun, 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 just starts going up the
Do you
stairs.
think they're gonna go zorbing?
Why didn't they use the huge guy?
Yeah.
It's
Seems
weight.
pointless, doesn't it?
It's basically weightless. And as he's carrying it just out of sight, you're all kind of staring at it because it's such a curious sight. You do see, fading into view in the interior, dejectedly folded wings at its side, clasping on with a little taloned finger to Horvin's feather, an imp.
Interesting.
It's Tidra.
It was Imsel this time.
Ah,
Just invisible imps just pulling feathers out of you.
That's neat.
ouch.
And you wait a short moment, as these Calcays are very efficient when they're doing indexing and library stuff. Not so much with the magic, but they come scampering back down. They're like, right this way. Any books that you can see straining against the chains that confine them, do not touch. In fact, don't touch anything at all.
Understood.
And,
You all hear that?
right,
Touch everything.
Touch nothing.
Serena's gonna look real mischievous, like,
we have
Touch.
more resilient spheres where that came from, young hedge. Let's get Emerald. Please. Okay. So, let's see if this works. Hey, yeah, that's right. Oh, no, just me and Theo are wrong again. just us two, mate. Just us two.
Just the
There we go.
two of us.
We can make it. She's back.
Oh, sorry. Oh no, sorry.
No,
I didn't mean to stop it. I just wanted to get some water.
I am a resourceful fellow. I have 2 scenes, one with Emma on and one with Emma off. And I can between them. What's Emma off? Says a goat, a Kalki. Okay, so they lead you down through these, just for you, Horvin, just beautiful aromas of just knowledge and binding and book glue and history and arcane secrets. You just let it just spill over you as you're just going down through the aisles. And after a short while, you get to a certain spot. And you can see the Kalki approaching a set that is encased in chains. You can hear the books uneasily shifting against their prison, wanting to be free, just wanting to impart the knowledge that they hold, just a secret or two.
I'm sure it's all very innocent.
You actually hear that. Like, it's like you hear about like 4 or 5 different voices. Arcane knowledge. Maps of lands you've never even heard of. You're just like, shut up.
It says the book says like Mama Tammy's guide to the most delicious sweets in all of the story goes.
What would Candlekeep give to have their hands on that? Now, you wait patiently, scrunching your eyes shut against the temptations, the cajoling voices from all around in your mind, and the Kalke lifts up a large brass key from his belt that he'd hung there as you left the main entranceway, and reaches up and with a little swift click undoes a very ornate-looking padlock, and the chains just kind of retract into the bookshelf, and there is a book, very unassuming looking, just a kind of brown leather cover, about kind of like A4 size, not a massive dread tome or anything, and it just says, "Help! I'm a book!" on the cover.
That's the one.
So,
May I?
the Kalke steps back. Indeed. Be my guest.
Okay. Horvin will step forward and pick up the book.
Okay. You all see Horvin reach up his arms reverently, take the slim tome in both hands, and pull it off the shelf. And as he does so, as you've seen before, 3 other books erupt from his luggage, from his bags, into the air around him, swirling, eldritch lights playing across their surfaces, trails of magical energy wafting behind them as they circle round Horvin, and he's lifted up 2, 3, 4 feet up into the air, hovering there in this circle of books as the 4th joins them, spiraling around as Horvin's library is empowered by 1 more tome.
That was metal as hell.
And it dies down, and Horvin, you drift down just with this stack of 4 books in your arms. And the Kalki's like, "It never did that before."
Well, I don't think it was with the set before.
I see. Well, I'm glad. Sets should always be kept together.
I agree wholeheartedly.
And Horvin, you may go onto your character sheet, delete that silly old 2-book Horvin's Library, and have a quick search in the equipment search for Horvin's Library 4 books.
Oh boy.
Enjoy. Speed read.
What you reading? What you read? I start poking him. What you reading?
Hey, Horvin.
What is-
Hey,
What
Horvin.
is it?
What
Horvin,
is
hey,
it?
hey,
Hey,
Horvin,
Horvin,
hey. What you doing?
Hey.
Hey.
Horvin.
What is it?
Hold, please.
I stay deadly still.
Let's hold him. Oh, that reminds
Yeah.
me, actually.
Start
Serena,
holding Hordman, caress him.
Serena, you remember how sad you were about my saving throws against your hold person?
Yes.
You would have been even sadder when you found out none of them were humanoids.
Yeah,
And
that's
after it had already happened before.
Ooh.
It's a
what is
happy
it?
Horvin.
What you reading?
It's a happy Horvin.
Horvin, what did?
He has access to what those Calques did, for starters.
He has big magic.
No.
He's a goat monkey now.
There
no,
are two.
no.
There are 2 spells in this
Necromancy.
item that are intrinsically linked to this location. One, which can tap the lore of this library, and one, which is used in self-defense by the Calque. And a couple of other bells and whistles. Plus 1 to your spell save and attack. Once you've
Yeah.
got that. Make sure you've got it attuned in his attunement as well.
Yes.
All right, and then just make sure you keep track of the charges on its page there at the top. It's annoyingly weighted. It's like you're gonna have to make some annoying choices at some point, I think. You cast them
That's
one,
totally
cast them one each, or the lesser one twice. You can't cast the powerful one twice.
fair enough.
Anyway, so this happens, and the Calque, you can see the Calque is getting quite impatient already. He's like, "Thank you very much. Pleasure to meet you all. Let us be along."
Yes, thank you. Like Horvin is has the book open in front of him and reading as he reads, heading back the way that they came without looking up from the book.
And you all start to turn, walking back towards the doors. And as you do so, there is a sudden whistle and rattle of chains, and 3 chains come out, wrap around the Kelke's arms, legs, and around his throat, and pull him into the bookshelf.
Oh.
No, what? As it
Now that's what you need a union for.
And
What
Tarina,
happened?
Tarina, you look there, yes?
I look what?
You look where it happened, where the Kelke disappeared?
Oh yes, for sure.
There's a small, white, goat-hide book that says, "Help, I'm a book,"
Ah,
wrapped in chains.
Uh-oh.
Was it?
I rolled the dice for
Corbin.
that.
noticed.
I rolled the dice. for
So
that.
that's horrifying. Can I just check something? Lincoln, I think it's well established by this point, is a big fan of like leather jackets, everything. What's the leather on that book that Horvin's got look like? Was it
Give me, what do you think? It would be a nature check or a...
let
would
me
it
see if
be?
there's one I want to petition for. Survival maybe?
Sure.
Like as in, like, yeah?
Yep, yep.
10!
10. Okay. That's, yeah, this kind of thing I like to
Aarakocra.
generally go kind of like 50-50.
Uh-huh. Aarakocra.
I was going to see if there's a one that's in lore from the original table. When you search for books in Avernus, it's all just the book Descent into Avernus. Go figure. Books found in Avernus. And still the module. Apparently you can find the module down here. if you look carefully enough. Spoilers. Okay, anyway, you are moving through the shelves, somewhat shell-shocked, and surprised by the sudden turn of events of ill luck for this poor little Calcaine. And
Wait,
as you-
no, is there nothing we can do?
Right?
Also, I have level 3 exhaustion, so I'm doing everything at disadvantage.
True.
And I didn't realise. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Lincoln starts eating a donut and just says, I mean,
What happened? Wait, are there other Calcae around?
A ways off, but yes.
Excuse me! Excuse me! I'll yell to the Calcae wherever, however far away they are from me.
And then one comes like scampering. I was like, yes.
He's been eaten by a book.
He looks over. Ah, occupational hazard.
Is he dead?
No,
Turing is
he's a
horrified.
book. It is a glorious way to end.
It's very
You say-
clear.
You say end like he's dead, but no, he's a book.
I look down at Horvin's book and I'm just like, ugh.
He is one with the sum total of knowledge in this great library. I envy him.
Alright, I'm
Alright.
freaked out now. We got the book. Let's go.
We have to go,
Okay.
yeah. I take Theo's hand like a little child because I am so disturbed. I'm like, yeah, we have to leave.
I pick Tarina up and like hold her around my chest, like, let's go. Like, just like
Yes,
I
your
don't
emotional support hedge.
Yeah.
We're both just like vacantly staring, just like, yes, let's go, let's leave. I'm in his arms, like looking this way as
It's
he's
50.
walking out this way, and we're both like, yes.
It's 50-50. You know, it's like Trina gives very good hugs or very bad hugs.
Yeah. Honestly, Theo can deal with this pain. He'd rather have his mind on the pain than his mind on the book.
Indeed. Okay, so yes, you make your way back, and you are gestured to go back up the stairs. As you do, that other one that was coming, that had ejected the imp from the library, is coming back down, like twiddling your feather between its thumb and forefinger. He's like, I thank you. There must be great power in a sorcerer's feather. And he tucks it in amongst all these other bits and bobs,
It's all yours.
and carries on back down to the library as you return up to the key room. And as you arrive there, you see Rolfine, resplendent in her red gown, waiting there with the satchel. And she's like, if you have what you came for, I shall reclose the great library.
We do indeed. Thank you.
And she says, please make yourselves comfortable. I shall be there soon. And she just glides around the circle, picking up the scroll from each basket. And as she does so, it rotates back round and places the basket on the floor, and then goes back to standing there with the ever-changing script on its chest, cycling through language after language. And you make your way back out into the firelight and comfortable armchair-ridden room of Mordenkainen's study.
Another day in hell.
He's a book. That's awful.
Probably gonna
Another
put
day
his
in
feather
hell.
into his book too.
I can't hear you, Mason.
I'm
I don't
just,
know if anyone else can.
Tarina, I'm gonna lay down
can.
on this couch here.
I just like on the couch. I'm just like,
Guys, I sympathize with your trauma here, but haven't we seen like things
Much
like
worse.
200% worse? Maybe 400% worse? And
Yeah.
Worst
But-
case scenario, he's dead. Like,
But the
You've
DM did a
done-
half-decent voice for this
Right.
one.
hearing the banter, like after having like plopped into a chair, reading this book, Horvin will break his concentration and look up and say, What are you guys talking about?"
It was like some cult sacrifice. They were fine with it. Oh no, like that's different than stabbing someone and killing them.
I mean, Holben's probably desensitized to that kind of thing.
What on earth happened?
Don't
Oh.
tell me you would.
The
AKA
goat
fairy
thing,
killer.
the goat thing that was helping you got turned into a book.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was titled "Help I'm a Book," like the book you're carrying.
That was a person, probably.
It's stuck that way. And it says help, I'm a book. They can't like it if it says help, I'm a book. The title would be great, I'm a book. But it's not great, I'm a book. Or this is nice, I'm a book. It's help, I'm a book.
I'm sure Mordenkainen can do something about it. And Lincoln, yes, I do understand the implications of what you guys saw.
Maybe it's a human.
Possibly.
Horvin, your book is
Maybe it's a little donkey man.
your book looks like regular leather when you took it, but it is very clearly skin of some kind.
Ew.
Horvin will kind of like, without really closing the book, you know how you kind of like to look at the cover of the book, you kind of like turn it back and forth in your hands. He'll look at it and realize that the skin that it's made of and just kind of say, I had no.
Pulls out a soul coin and says, "You guys know, these aren't called soul coins because like
Person in it.
there's a person in here."
They were
This is very
bad.
normal down here.
You know,
I'm
honestly, I thought this whole time it was soul as in SOL, like the sun, because it's hot. You know, here, like, it's hot all the time, so
I
like.
believe that. I believe that Theo thought that.
Theo, bless you.
100% legit. Automatic
Like,
insight checks for everyone.
He is telling the truth. Like,
I believe that 100%. Huh.
So, did you look inside, Horvin?
Of the book?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he read it all the way up the stairs. That's why he didn't see what happened to the.
Well,
yeah.
It's a rather dull read, I'm afraid, because all it says on every page, over and over again, is help. I'm a book.
No, this is definitely the worst thing we've seen in hell. I am horrified.
You saw me die.
I brought you back. That was fixable. This is awful.
Well,
We were
Just took-
fighting a good fight. These people were
just took my
snatched
soul.
out of the aisle.
That's all.
Fixable.
I
Great way to describe literally the most horrifying experience I've been through in a very long time. Cool.
Oh no, come on! The bag of devouring in your leg must have been pretty bad too.
that was pretty
Oh,
good.
Oh, that was
fuck you all.
yeah,
There's
remember that time we almost
nothing.
suffocated Lincoln?
someone
Like,
screaming "You're all alone. Sorry, Mason.
No, it's all good.
I don't understand.
It's nice to have these little quiet moments where you get to reminisce on the campaign so far from time to time.
I
Recap.
I understand that. I mean, truly reading this has been a horrifying experience. I will continue to read it to completion. I'm not sure if there's maybe some kind of I don't know code or
Watch this space.
Excuse me. Let me do my once per session. Now you see here. Here they
All of
forgot to put
Horvin impression needs.
a period. This was not. I say forget. This was intentional.
An artistic choice.
Malicious bad grammar.
Ha.
I would think that. I am off. Thank you.
Shortly after this, Rothine walks in, sweeps in, dare I say, excuse me, And she plonks the satchel back on its peg on the hat stand, and she comes over to you. And for all a kind of haughty, like, greater than thou, mageocracy loving, air of superiority she's had so far, she actually looks rather nervous.
Ooh. Hello.
Everything okay?
Are we about to die or be attacked or?
She plumps down in what must be Mordenkainen's chair, tall-backed, ostentatious-looking thing, and she
He's
plumps
passed
down on
on.
it
I understand.
with her arms on the arms of the chair. She's like, "I'm afraid it might have happened again. He thought he could go into Barovia and deal with the vampire lord himself, and he was trapped there. That echo again, Emma. And he barely escaped that time. Some great enchantress, some traveler from a different realm. I believe the name was Shivakri. Telepathically linked with him and brought him back from the abyss. But he hasn't reappeared this time. Elminster wasn't able to go and get him this time. He must be off in Canada again. I'm terrified. I'm worried that he tried to take on Strahd, the vampire lord, once more, and has been bested. He's so sure of himself, so sure that he can beat such a terrible creature, fueled as he is by the dark powers that create that very plane.
What would you say his weaknesses are?
The vampire lord?
No, I mean Mordenkainen, just because I'm really trying to flesh out this image in my brain.
That's the terrifying thing. None that I could ever imagine. He is my master, my teacher.
Your imagination is
he
not.
He knows everything. She's completely smitten, clearly, and she's just like wringing her fingers in her hands in her lap. I hope some lucky band of adventurers comes across him and helps him out. She looks off into the far distance.
I'm sure that
Scene pans to them.
Every round.
Seems switches to Barovia. We have 4 adventurers going run through the woods as wolves and zombies chase after them. Like shit.
Vanta crawls out of a well like the Grudge.
Okay, now. She shakes her head. Nothing any of us can do but wait. Now, please get out. You do not have a ticket to ride, as those great bards once sang.
fair enough.
And you stand up. And she nods regally at you. I shall send you back to your vehicles. You are sucked and compressed and elongated back through the eldritch behindways as you end up back with your feet in the sands of Avernus next to your war machines. And as you do, you look back in the Tower of there's a flash of energy from the crystals and the housings up on the rooftop, and lightning starts to crackle around the exterior. You see a bunch of those Arcanoloths, all hoping for some kind of employ, just start to scatter. The ones that can fly can do so. The ones that teleport just go shoop, 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 disappear off, and they all start getting out the way as quickly as they can as the lightning becomes more and more ferocious, and then tower just balls up on itself and travels somewhere,
Wow.
wherever and whenever you are. And you are left alone. I shall close this study. Sorry, so confident.
I had more questions
What?
for that stupid bald man.
Why did she tell us about that Mordenkainen stuff? Like, well, I guess it's good to know where he is, but I mean, she said it as if like, oh man, if only someone could do something.
That's so weird.
If
Who would do that?
Who would do that? Why? Truly. Well, we got a book, so now what? What do we do? What are we doing? What are we up to? What are our plans for the evening? Brunch?
You hungry? I'm hungry. Could you, yeah, you could do coffee. Yeah, you can do coffee.
I'm exhausted. I could do a sleep.
It is
Yeah,
evening
I'm
time
exhausted
after that long
too.
fight. I think headcanon for me, maybe a homebrew rule. This one, D&D fights take as long as they do in the game, so that took like 3 hours. And all the traveling. In game, it was what, 30 seconds?
Yep, love that.
Can you imagine trying to watch one of those like as it was happening in real time, like as it's supposed to be? It'd just be this
Oh my
flurry of magic and just people just being
Oh
fire.
yeah.
Firemo was like, just like runs around on the ship and comes and
Right.
back.
Firemont disappeared
like-
for less than 30 seconds.
Some like Naruto like running like around.
Yeah. You're like, just a bit for less than 30 seconds, and everyone's like, we have to get Firemo back. Where's he gone? We're done without him. Oh, there he is.
Ta-da!
Hi. Okay, so, please, yes, Emma, that was a very good question. A very good discussion to have.
We have but 2 options.
Uh-huh.
Follow the skull, or go do Tarina's thing.
Trina?
The Dryads.
Do we know what we're closer to?
There's no such thing. You
Right.
just head out for what you fancy, and hopes you get there.
Tarina.
Dryads then. Bone brambles it is. If it's up
Let's
to me.
do it.
Works for me.
Wasn't the bone brambles right near where I got my leg lost?
That is
Uh-huh.
exactly
It is
where-
exactly
It was-
where.
Wasn't
Memories.
near.
Memory.
Was not near where you got your legs lost.
It was.
Was swear.
Nom,
Over to,
nom.
as far as the map's concerned, over to the west, but not in the way the hells work.
Who took that bag of battery? Is it a Firemore?
Nobody.
Oh, I thought Firemore had it. Interesting. That's good. Interesting. Lincoln probably was like,
We
yeah.
left it there.
Such a nasty item, and it wasn't me. It's in the module.
Uh-huh.
Much as it may seem like me, it wasn't.
Oh, it's very you, John. Very, does feel very you.
Okay, so you're jumping in your machines and heading off.
Whoop, yep.
Yep.
All right. Okay, you swing up onto the various gantries and riding platforms of the tour bus and Black Parade, and I think it's about time you stick in another coin. We're not being very good at counting
At all.
how they do it, but that's fine. Who cares? It's all good. And you do remember hearing that Demonica also powers these things. Remember? You saw people using it
Oh,
to,
yes.
just in case you may be against burning souls.
Eh.
Firemont picks
Lincoln,
it up.
come on, you've met 2 of them as they brought you back to life. Do you remember there was that forest elf barbarian?
Lincoln's on a really, really rocky path to chaotic evil, so let's just not push it too quickly. Let's not pray.
Firemont takes the coin. Now listen, the book is not that. You shouldn't scare them as she puts the coin in. I just burned somebody's soul so we could drive a little bit farther.
But they were a bad person. This book, it's like being stuck in a coma. Out of character. Have you seen
Imagine-
movie One?
They were in hell.
Imagine,
They were not. They made a deal and then didn't keep it.
There you go,
imagine
that's terrible.
you were just sitting
That's
down.
always just being a librarian.
Imagine you're just sitting down, and then all of a sudden, poof! That's it. That's your existence. Nothing. No.
Look,
No.
All you can do
Serena,
is scream into the
Serena.
void, help, 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 I'm a book, and then some stupid crow picks you up and is like, hey, this looks nice, and reads you to find one grammatical mistake. Awful.
Hey, Serena.
Bro.
I can
Yeah.
use my
Alright, that
special
was the low
magics
row.
to find out exactly who they were and what they were like. Give me a moment. They
I don't know
suck.
that I want to know.
They suck. They stole children and took them to some weird place called Barovia, and like werewolves were involved. Not what you want. There you
Those
go.
children will
I'm-
probably never be found.
No.
I'm gonna
shame.
take a rest for about an hour, and I'm just gonna sit right about here.
Can I just say how happy I am that there's now evidence that the players do remember their initial quest in Barovia. It's good to
Hell
hear.
yeah.
Good to hear.
I think about it occasionally.
Yeah, it comes up.
It's relevant sometimes.
Okay, so
He's stupid.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
ooh,
Can I take a rest?
Oh,
while
no,
you-
Serena. I mean, name calling. That's kind of rough. I don't know.
I start packing a little blanket over Firemore. Rest.
Stole my abilities when we killed that.
Oh yeah, I'm walking. I'm like the Walking Dead, dude. You're good. I get it.
okay,
Oh, a cat!
Meow meow.
again.
Cats!
He was licking my hair.
As cats do.
So you are making your way across the plains as quickly as possible towards the bone brambles and Corvin. Please roll me 2d8. Now, everyone, if he rolls the same number on the two dice, they get diverted by the magic and the twisting nature of Avernus and the hellscape here. If they're two different numbers, they're fine.
A 5 and a 2.
Yeah.
Once again, you are successful. They have not been led astray once this entire time. Okay, so as you are driving quickly, again seeing those huge mounds of bones, the lakes of ichor, the fiery fissures into the deep earth all around you. You see far off in the distance one of those terrible storms rolling across the plains, but in the opposite direction. And you, after a certain amount of time, it's very difficult to figure out how much, find yourselves arriving at the Bone Brambles. But it is getting very late, and you are all so tired.
That's true. Guys.
Sleep.
Shush, I'm gonna go sleep now. Night.
Who gave him? Where did he find drink?
Shush. What's funny is to get to the mindset where I like feel like I'm drunk out of my mind, I just have to exist now. It's like I've broken a little.
Wow.
It's great.
Wow.
Anyway, anybody want to make a little blanket fort with me and just forget?
Serena's all about it. She's in there.
Sweet.
Exhausted friend, sleeping.
Yeah. Aesthetic.
Okay. So, you
Oh,
circle
do
the
we want to establish watches?
Yes, so you circle the wagons. as best you can with only two. And what do you do? Who is on watch first?
Theo will be on watch
Gonna
first.
see the bones first.
Oh look, a pile of bones.
There it is. Tried and tested.
Lincoln requests that he goes on watch, not first.
Really?
Same.
Sleepy.
Just because Tarina also has a level of exhaustion.
Fine.
Show your book. And then I go to sleep.
Come on, Orvin. It'll be fun. You and me, you know.
Has been some time.
Nah, sleeping like a baby. What do you think he's dreaming about? Why is he drawing his sword in his sleep? Oh right,
Uh,
it's the visions of the pits. I get it.
So, Theo, Orvin, sat atop the tour bus. Unless you want to be very cozily sat atop the Black Parade.
no, I think we're okay.
Just, it's like
Just the two of us.
it's like a vertical spoon. Just arms around each other. Okay, so yes, you're on top of the tour bus, looking out across the dull red glow, which never really goes away. And the hellscape stretches on and on. Such is the manner of it, you can't even see anything that you've passed by before. It's not that you can see the sticks, you can't see Elturel hanging in the sky, you can't see Mad Maggie's fortress or Bell's forge. You can't see the large volcano that would give that away. Just endless despair and broken people. And those reveling in that fact. What do you say to each other?
Theo, how did you say it's been 10 years?
Yeah, just about in the mortal realm. Long time. You know, when this is all over, my boy is very excited to meet you all. I've told me he's been most interested in our tales.
That warms my heart. We spent some time with some young people in Elturel, and that was definitely fun. I look forward to it.
Me as well. You know, Horvin, I will say. You've definitely. It was 10 years for me, and I definitely. I still remember our adventures together. But you've changed a lot, and I've seen you show more of your passion, and I enjoy that fire, that passion you reveal, and I'm happy to finally see it.
I appreciate that, Theo. If I'm being completely honest, I think it's one of the only things that helps me from going insane down here. I mean, you remember the story of the cartographer, and Corbin will kind of like wave the map.
Of course, we all have something we hold on to that keeps us sane. Even if everything else is crumbling down, there's always that one thing that gives us that little bit of hope.
What's that for you?
Me? I'm a simple man, Orvin. Family that I love dearly. I know I have to come back to them eventually. But, as well, remember I say, never leave anyone behind, never leave any crew behind. I hold on to the hope that we will all make it out here.
I'm confident in that.
And I as well, my friend.
I would certainly be lying to myself if I didn't think there were more difficulties to come. Anything more difficult than the things we've already taken care of, or weathered, at the very least.
Made it this far. And I'm proud of you all.
Right. I'm proud of us too.
Like a pile of bones.
Why does pile of bones feel like a euphemism now?
Yeah.
Hey,
Like, oh, this is
is
too
that a pile of
intimate.
bones?
Pile of bones.
Are we allowed to wake up the next person until we found one?
Is this a thing now? Yeah, guys, do it, you cowards. Wake us up. Interrupt this moment.
Corvin is gonna wake up Firemaw.
Okay. No.
Firemore's definitely gonna find some bones.
Fireball.
Fireball.
You're
What?
awakened. Not yet at a long rest. You'll have to finish after your watch. But are you going to wake anyone else, or stand watch alone?
Look. I'll let them sleep.
Oh.
Oh.
And Theo, Orvin, you take your spots, and it's not long before your eyes become heavy, too heavy to hold open, and you also let sleep take you, knowing that Firemore stands above, unless there's a pile of bones to go look at. No. He's proven himself to be even resistant to such temptations.
You cannot. All pleasures cannot move fire.
Although Firemore, I do think you would look down, remembering said pile of bones from last time, and see at your waist a warhammer
Oh my god.
It's true.
with the mark of Jarvis, right? Jarvik, sorry.
Javik.
Jarvis, Mark of Jarvis Cocker. Our Lord and Savior. Sorry, I'm dating myself.
I don't know who that is.
Quite. That's what I just said in different words. By the way, anybody who was watching last night, the answer to our viewer riddle, which
Oh.
player was younger than my sweater, was indeed Lincoln here. Emma herself.
Revealed.
Oops.
Check under your pillows in the morning to see if you won.
Let me just date myself a little bit. Do you know how old I am now? Okay.
The grand old age of? Not 42. This is a good age to be. It's a very auspicious number, I think.
I like it.
I think you'll find.
Isn't that the meaning of life?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is when we figure it out. We just don't tell you.
Oh my gosh.
Rude as shit.
It's one of those things.
You gotta,
You have to find it for yourself, otherwise it's meaningless.
I imagine more. It's like you get a letter and it says, "Don't tell anybody, or we'll make you young again."
That's really great.
No. It's like when the new president gets taken to Area 51. It's there. The answer. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to spoil it for all of you. You're going to be doomed with the knowledge. Are you ready?
Go on.
It's the friends you
Famous.
make along the way.
Oh, damn it.
I,
Sorry.
my favorite friends we made along the way joke. I saw a comic very recently that was two guys opened the chest. The treasure was the friends you made along the way, and they're like, we were already fucking friends. All right.
Oh yeah, finally, bruh. Hey, bruh.
I love those
Bruh.
memes. I love those memes where they find the ultimate scroll of truth, and it's like one of those,
Oh yeah.
one of those D&D snippets.
Yeah, this the last one's like yeet. Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Mine would be, you find the ultimate scroll of truth. You unfurl it in the library of modern Canaan, and it says, "Advantage from flanking is bullshit." Yeet. Okay, so, Orvin, you do look down at this warhammer, engraved, embossed, chiseled, with the logo. Sounds like a business card. No, the icon of Javik, your cultist. No, I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim friends in Elturel. What could it mean? And you find your mind wandering back to Elturel, wondering if Altus, the cultist, is okay. Has he been restored to his former self, having been doused in the waters of the Styx and wiped clean to be the vessel that was your contract, now broken with Zariel herself? What are you pondering whilst you're up here in this wind?
His mind's wandering. He's thinking. I bet you the Gerlax, pilgrims would like this hammer. What am I supposed to do about this glaive? To killed the blue. They killed the blue one. Does that count? Mostly thinking about what he's supposed to do.
And can I make the joke? Can I make the joke? Double checking the name. Double checking the name. Where are
I'll
you?
be sad if you don't.
Sure.
I'm wrong.
Yes, I can. As you do, a figure comes into view as a kind of whirling dervish of sands, spinning around on itself, whistles through and past your location. And as it passes over an area of rock, you see suddenly sat on a folding chair, legs crossed, arms crossed in front of them, heavy woolen mittens on their hands. As you see Bernie the Barber from the Wandering Emporium. I was like, please tell me the name was Bernie. Tell me the name was Bernie. And it was. It was.
My God.
Oh my god.
I've seen. I think I feel
Not me.
I failed you.
My
I've
favorite.
seen streams on Twitch where he was just a player who sat in one of the windows. Anyway, you see Bernie the Barber sat, one leg crossed over the other, arms crossed in front, folded in front. And they stand up and they're like, oh, why am I wearing these? Take off the heavy mittens and heavy overcoat. And just
He
come
suddenly feels empty without them.
put their hands into their voluminous pockets in their voluminous robes as the wind whips them around their figure and their hair, those heavy black rings of dark hair blowing also in the wind as she makes her way over to you. Let's see if I can quickly find... Because, little secret, dear viewers, this kind of thing tends to spring to mind rather than be planned.
I like it that way,
Yeah, right?
for sure.
Named creatures and monsters. Ow! God damn it. It's not a good picture. Avernus. Bernie! There she is. Not the image some of you had in your head, for certain.
I'm imagining it's Bernie Sanders, but just it's a
Bernie
D&D
Sanders.
lady, I assume.
Bernie Sanders, but in this outfit.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
No. Bernie, there. copper skin, reflecting the dull red glow, almost giving them a vibrance, a look of vitality and health as they walk towards you. All alone, fella?
As well as things can be going, I suppose.
No, I said all alone.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't...
Sorry, it's a win.
It's okay. Doesn't do well to be like that down these places. You get funny thoughts. Funny ideas.
Yeah, well, we're all alone up here.
And if I join you?
You look. Yeah, sure. You had a
She-
chair.
She walks over, pulls her hands out of her pockets, and clambers up onto the tour bus. Plonks down on the side of the tour bus with you, her legs swinging off the edge. Have you been okay? We're
I
worried
haven't-
about you.
I haven't been possessed by a ancient red dragon in a few
Then you're
days,
doing something
so-
right.
Yeah.
What happened to that? An orb of dragonkind is a very powerful thing.
Had to give it away
What?
to free this crew.
To who?
I like the answer. It's Archon.
She pinches the bridge of her nose. Give him his full name, but that is all he deserves.
Archon the Vile.
Arkan the Cruel.
Ah, cool. I get it.
And he will not have the slightest care what happens to you, so long as his queen, his majesty, can be freed from that prison where our Lord Bahamut put her, excuse me.
Heard conflicting stories about that.
Power such as hers could only be thwarted by her equal, and yet opposite, her brother. Are you aware of the relationship between them?
They haven't exactly given me a book.
They can be overrated. Is it violent? As Horvin like rolls over in his sleep. How dare you? My turn. Bernie shrugs her shoulders. What's done is done. What was he doing? Who was he with?
He's with my mentor, the one I came to look for,
What was the name? Ebenmash?
Evan, and some Tortle, death
Death.
priest.
The Death Priest. Yes. I've heard of that one. Do not be fooled by his seeming witless age. He's just as cruel and just as resourceful as his master.
Then, of course, there was the legion of cultists.
And all of the Abishai. I suppose she's been throwing you into her tests, has she?
Of course, had to kill several Abishai.
Is that not some kind of alarm bell for you? Someone who would require you to kill her own followers to prove yourself.
I assure you. alarming. But what would you have me do? I can't go against Tiamat on home plane.
And the tour bus kind of shifts a little as she suddenly like jumps a little and like jump turns and like is facing towards you as best she can with her legs off the edge. And she's like, no, no, Firemore, you can always be against tyranny. You can always be against cruelty and evil. Don't say that thing.
You're asking to simply follow your... For what? I'm here in hell.
But you're not alone.
You're the only other person that I've met. What do you expect me to do?
It takes a special kind of someone to be down here of their own choice. You, your friends, or Lincoln's mother, all of them were pulled here, taken here against their will. Puppets, if you will, of the devils, the archdevils, the higher ranking, the Council of Nine. The generals. The generals that are supposed to be working for Zariel, but they are still loyal to Bel. They do not approve of her roots on Mount Celestia. I just thank the gods that Tidra was able to leave Avernus, escape the hells, and get back to her charge. That poor Asamar, he was lost without her. Lost down in the Underdark, all alone. Stephen's character. They are reunited. And I hope that that particular front of this whole conflict, for there are many more things going on than the Blood War. Many more fronts, many more conflicts, many more battles, wars to be waged, and won or lost. But it's as your new best friend says, the balance must be maintained as much as possible. Although Aslots are rather partial to it tipping in Good's favour from time to time. Mordecai is obsessed with the Blood War. There is nothing else as far as he's concerned, unless it spills over into the conflict here. And wherever it rages, cults, summonings, all-out warfare here. It is never-ending. And it is unthanked. But it is the right thing to do. You must see that, Firemore. She takes your hands. Tell me you see that.
Firemo stares off into the wastes for a moment.
See a single tier of molten copper running down her cheek.
Not. Not yet.
She looks crestfallen. Well, do not fall for the same misconception that Linka's brother had. That he was alone. That there was nobody watching over him. Poor Trida did everything she could. Tried so hard to save him, to keep him away from Oxriun. But that one has too much anger. But do not fall into that same misconception, as I said. You are not alone. Yes, we may have to hide ourselves, we may not be able to reveal our hand, but when the time comes and the choice is there before you, we will be there. When you, hopefully, make the right decision. Know that.
Bernie. Very confused. You've done one thing for me. You've cleansed me of this possession. But without the help that I've received from the other side, I would be dead.
No. No, you would not. Have faith in your abilities. Have faith in who you are, what you can do, and what you have the potential to do. They want you to believe that. They want you to believe that they are paying your way on this route, on this ride, and that you are paying them back with those things you do. But that's it, isn't it? There is no price. There is no price on this side or that. We do not charge you, and we do not owe you. That's it. It is the route of freedom, and as such it is free to travel. You don't owe them anything.
Nor have they asked.
What? What do you think these challenges are? These shows of strength, these shows of loyalty, these barbaric acts? Watch that Corvin friend of yours as well. We were most concerned by how happily he was to sacrifice that poor fairy for the sake of a book. I think Fireman was that's the first time Fireman was heard about this. A hunger for knowledge can easily become a greed for knowledge. And there are many down here, those that built the Crypt of the Hellriders, for example, who end up greedy and lost. Much like that poor Eladrin girl.
Is there anything else, Bernie?
Just your regular reminder. We are here. And we believe in you. We believe in the choice you'll make when it comes to... She stands up on the tour bus. You stand up too or stay sat?
We'll stand up.
As you do, she takes your hands once more. Heed what I've said. Remember, Paimon. Remember it all. She goes up on tiptoes, gives you a kiss on the cheek, and turns and jumps off the tour bus. And as she does, there's an impossible rush of mass and size, and for the briefest second before there's a mirage effect and it shimmers out of existence, you see an ancient copper dragon. Swiftly followed by two little canaries.
That's what having a mother feels.
Ouch.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. Oh, that came out of nowhere, but oh, it stank.
Firema, are you okay? Yeah,
Dear-
I'm just tired.
Dear players and dear viewers, as I am now crying.
No! Aw. Of course it would be fun.
We shall stop there.
Aw.
That was such a mic drop.
Wow.
That's so good. So good. Right, thank you everybody. Do join us again when we're back in Avernus next week on Friday. But before that, there's plenty to see, as on Tuesday we're up in Icewind Dale with Rime of the Frost Maiden, and Thursday back in Barovia. It's been talked about from time to time this evening as well. And maybe in spots they didn't even realize. That'll be next Thursday. And then, as I said, we'll be back in the Nine Hells to carry on this adventure. Thank you so much for coming by, and as we like to say around these parts,
Yes, me.
Yes,
Ayasumi.